Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jujutsu, and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about my top 10 favorite animes of 2023. Now, as a quick disclaimer, I'm only going to be talking about the animes that were airing at one point in 2023. I'm not going to include animes that have always been airing forever. So, One Piece, sorry, I got to exclude you, but sorry, it is what it is. I mean, it's not kind of fair, you know. But I'm going to be talking about all the seasonal animes that were airing at one point in 2023. Now, before I go any further with this countdown, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So you guys could please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's talk about 2023. I thought 2023 was a fantastic year for anime, and I would go as far as to say that it's one of the best years in anime, period. We had a lot of great quality shows all around the board, and I think it was some of the highs that I've seen anime has been in a single year. So mad props for 2023. Now, for as many good animes as they were, you know, I can't put all of them in the top 10. So I want to start off with 4 honorable mentions that I'm going to speed run through them. So my number 14 would have been, so I have a list right here. My number 14 would have been Hell's Paradise. I think the first 12 episodes of Hell's Paradise was fantastic. I think it was a great new wave battle shonen that a lot of people consider in the dark trio of JJK, Chainsaw Man, and Hell's Paradise as well. So I think it did a great job at investing people into the show, but it's still too early on to put it, for me to have put it more in the top 10 or so. But it's still a great show. Check it out. For number 13, it would have been Oshinoko. Once again, another show that I think is still too early on, but I think that first episode was fantastic. 10 out of 10 episode, but I think that, you know, a lot of criticism has been that first episode is the best thing in the whole show, and I would agree to some regard. I think that the first episode was the best thing in Oshinoko. I think I still enjoy the show Oshinoko a lot. I think it's a fantastic show, but I still think it's too early for me to have put it in a top 10. I think it did a lot of great, you know, it was a B+, and I think that it's a great show, so check it out, but it wasn't in my, you know, top 10, sadly. For number 12, it would have been Mashle. I love Mashle, great show. It's just a fun, you know, comedy. It's like, you know, Harry Potter, but meets One Punch Man. So it's a lot of fun show. But once again, I don't think it was able to live up to my top 10. I mean, the top 10 was just very power heavy hitters. Like, it's just, for me at least, I think Mashle was comfortably in number 12. So sadly, Mashle was not top 10. I still love the show. Can't wait for season 2. So very excited for that. And then lastly, my last honorable mention would be Spy X Family. I think Spy X Family just wrapped up as of this week, and I thought that the episode was fantastic, and yeah, I think that like I said, I think that Spy X Family is that show that you consistently know it's gonna be quality. Like you know it's gonna hit it out of the park from the get-go, so you don't never got to worry about like, oh, is this episode gonna be bad? Because for the most part, they're all gonna be good. I mean, I've never seen a bad Spy X Family episode, so it's always consistency, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, sadly, it was not able to hit number 10 just because the Spy X Family was consistent, but it never hit like super amazing highs except for the boat arc, and that was great and all, but my number 10's highs were higher. So that's how it goes. And yeah, I just wanted to give some love and a shout out to those series because they're fantastic, and check them out. Now, with all that being said, let's get into my actual top 10. So for number 10, it's gonna start off with My Hero Academia season 6. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, oh, My Hero fell off, all that. Listen, I think that My Hero season 6 adapted I would argue the best section of the story, period, and I think that it was a great, you know, comeback for My Hero for the anime, because we all know that the season 5, you know, it fell off a little bit because of the whole training arc with the Class A and Class B. But I think that this season 6, where, you know, we got Shigaraki fighting Deku, we had, you know, Deku beginning his dark, you know, his vigilante kind of look, and a lot of like there's a Marco, you know, she was being awesome. A lot of good stuff and a lot of great character-driven moments, especially with Endeavor, which is actually my favorite character in the show. Controversial opinion for some, but I think that he is the best written character by far in the show. But yeah, I think that this season was really great, and once again, it sparked the love in My Hero. I think that because My Hero was quiet for a bit, but then it had a big resurgence, I think, with season 6 because it was just epic, and I think that it deserves the number 10 spot in my list. Now, continuing on for my number 9. My number 9 is actually Heavenly Delusion, a show that is fantastic. However, it still hasn't concluded in the sense that everything about this show is The Last of Us, and it's fantastic, and I love it, and I think the characters are great. The writing is fantastic. A lot of emotional moments. I cried a couple of times watching the show, but my big thing was that there's so many questions that haven't been answered, and we don't know if the answers are going to be good or satisfying. So I still, you know, I'm still taking a back seat on it, and depending on how the continuation of Heavenly Delusion, goes forward in the story, we'll have to wait and see if these answers are fulfilled. Because I've seen many shows that started with a great premise but then fall off later on. But Heavenly Delusion, definitely a fantastic new series. I would say that it's a really great apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic setting like The Last of Us. And the story I actually prefer to The Last of Us, at least from Part 2's Last of Us. I think that, Heavenly Delusion did a better story when it comes to that. And, the whole hatred and all that. But yeah, with all that being said, Heavenly Delusion, check it out. It's in Hulu. So if you have time, definitely check it out. It's fantastic. And then moving into my number 8. My number 8 might be a dark horse for y'all. Maybe none of y'all have seen it, but listen. For full disclaimer, I love me a good slice of life rom-com. I eat them up. I think they're great. Big Kaguya-sama fan, So for number 8, my number 8 would be My Love Story with Yamada-Kun at level 999. Now, this show is such a relief. Like it was just such a palate cleanser because I had seen so many like battle action shows, and it's just nice to take a sit back and relax, and just enjoy a nice wholesome slice of life. And this is what this show is. It's just two people, one of them's a gamer, and then this chick gets dumped by her ex, and then she starts gaming because she's trying to relieve all the stress from being broken up by this guy. So she starts playing the game that the guy used to got her into, and then a lot of shenanigans happens, and then these two individuals get to meet each other, and it's just a blast seeing them on screen. Akane, love her, best girl. I think I would go as far as to say my favorite girl in 2023. She's so awesome. So yeah, and I started reading the manga after the anime ended, and it was produced by Madhouse, so it's gonna be a banger. Just saying, and that won't be the only Madhouse produced anime you'll see in this list. But yeah, definitely check it out. It's only 12 episodes. And it's really good. And once you're finished with the anime, check out the manga because the manga is fantastic. And I love it. I binged it all within 3 days or 2 days. And yeah, it's really, really good. So definitely check it out. Love me. So My Love Story with Yamada-Kun at level 999. So definitely check that out. Now, continuing on with my number 7, it's the Shadow Garden. It's Eminence in the Shadow season 2. I think that season 2 was such a fun blast, and Eminence has been that show where once again, like a Spy X Family kind of scenario where every episode is fun. You're gonna laugh at least some points. Like you got Shadow, Sid. He's just the ultimate troll. My man is just overly overpowered, and you also have like the whole Atomic Shadow Garden Alpha best girl. Just saying, full disclaimer, Alpha is best girl. Okay, then Gamma. Then you're gonna put my girl Delta in there. You gotta throw Epsilon up there too. I'm just saying, every Shadow Garden, but Sid is a lucky man. All right, that's all I'll say. But yeah, just the shenanigans of this isekai, and I'm not the biggest isekai fan, but listen, Eminence hits different, okay? Because it's a parody on the genre, and I think that this season 2 was phenomenal. John Smith, voiced by Lelouch Britannia. Come on now, that was a given that had to be my list. But yeah, definitely check it out. Season 2, definitely check out Eminence. Once again, a great show, very funny show, very hilarious. And for number 6, once again, we go to a slice of life, changing the pace up, and this will be Tomo-Chan is a Girl. Now, this show, I had heard good things about it early on in the year, like very, very early on. And I ended up watching it during the summer, and I love this show. This show is so wholesome, it's so fun, and also has one of my favorite side characters in all of anime, which is Tomo's best friend, the girl with the blue hair. She's such a fantastic supporting character. I think that I love. She definitely, she helps the plot move forward. She's very essential. She would be kind of like the Reagan to Mob in Mob Psycho, how everybody loves Reagan. That would be me with this chick. This chick is fantastic. She's really good. She's a blast to just see on screen. She was very funny. And also the romance aspects, and it's very funny and cute, and it's also great when it comes to, being not shy up and not changing yourself. Be true to who you are. And I think that the message of the show is very key on that, and I think I loved it for it because it was just about, don't be afraid to express yourself and, trying to change for other people's sakes. Like, stay consistent. And yeah, this show, really fun. And it's only 12 episodes as well, so definitely check it out. It's only 12 episodes, and it's completed. It told its story, and every episode was fantastic. Just like again, a Spy X Family consistency. But yeah, and then that would be my last for number 6, and now we get to the top 5. So for number 5, this was very, very close between my number 4 and 5. They were, but I could have tossed them off like it could have been a mixed up. And I ended up deciding for number 5, I was going to put Mushoku Tensei. Now, hear me out. I love Mushoku Tensei season 1, and I think season 2 was fantastic. Rudy's character as a whole, I think that it was a phenomenal journey from seeing him from where he was in season 2 to from season 1 to season 2. The journey that he's been gone, and the character development has been fantastic. And I think that I really, really, really like season 2. I really like the payoff, at least for the first part of season 2, because the second part is airing sometime in April of 2024. But I did really enjoy those 12 episodes. And I have really no big complaints, except that, you know, I wanted to see more. And yeah, I think that the only reason that number 4 is ahead of this is because he has more episodes. And, you know, I think it's hard to decide because, like I said, Mushoku is really, really good. But I think my number 4 just beats it by a little bit, which, let's get into my number 4 now. Number 4 is Frieren, which is Beyond Journey's End. And this show is spectacular. This show, to me, is the best of one of the best fantasy animes I've ever seen. Like, it really engulfs you in it. And for y'all that haven't seen the show, let me give you a little synopsis. Picture Legolas at the end of Lord of the Rings, where the Fellowship disbands, and it's pretty much Legolas catching up and realizing, like, oh, all my old members of the Fellowship will die before me, because, you know, the elves live for so long. And the story that it tells is very emotional, and it really, the message of the story is, you know, appreciate the time you have with the loved ones you have. I'm getting emotional. There's a lot of moments in the show where, you know, I was at the edge of crying, and it's a very beautiful story being told, and the characters are great. And I think that the animation, Madhouse once again hits a banger, which is great because I love Madhouse. I would go as far as to say they were my favorite anime studio because it made a lot of my favorite animes of all time. And it was great seeing them again, you know, be put front and center with a hit. And Frieren is definitely a hit. I mean, like I said, it's just a phenomenal story that, you know, it tells a tale of, you know, learning how to appreciate time and, you know, enjoying every day to its fullest, whether it's with new people and, you know, experiencing new relationships. And, you know, it's a lot of regrets and the things that you wish you could have gone back to fix. It's a very emotional, beautiful story. And right now in the anime, I think there's 15 episodes or so, but it's continuing on in January. So I'm very excited to see how much go forward, because I love this show. And who knows, by the end of the story, you know, it might be one of my favorite animes of all time, because it definitely is one of my favorite animes I've seen in many years. So mad props to Frieren. Fantastic series. Now we get to the big top 3. So number 3, it's gonna be surprising for some of y'all, but I didn't think it was surprising, because I think my number 2 and 1, it was pretty locked on. But number 3 is Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. Now, Jujutsu Kaisen season 2 has been the pinnacle of what a shonen peak can get to. Like, when it comes to, like, the Shibuya incident alone and the Heaven Inventory, these 2 arcs were so perfectly blended together, and the animation was fantastic. And I think that the Shibuya arc, I mean, if you've seen any social media, you see everybody just talking about this arc. Nobody is safe, and I think that that's the reason that I knew that once the Shibuya arc was going to be animated, it was going to blow everyone's expectations of what a shonen should be, because it blew everybody's, you know, expectations. Nobody expected, you know, characters to die left and right, and it really set the stakes to something that we haven't seen in a new gen in so many years. So JJK, I mean, I can't sing enough praises. The only thing nitpicky negative I can say is that, you know, I wish MAPPA would treat their employees better, but that's a story for another time. You can watch my video regarding that. I have, you know, I talk about the whole controversy with MAPPA. But overall, I mean, the animators have been absolutely just knocking out of the park, and the animation and the voice acting, everything in season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen has been phenomenal. And I would go so far as to say that it's one of the best shonen seasons I've seen in years. Like, and easily. The Shibuya incident I would put up there with some of the greatest arcs of all time, like the Chimera Ant arc. And I think that right now we're seeing the peak of Jujutsu Kaisen, because going forward, you know, it's this is the Marineford in One Piece standards. This is the crucial moment that, you know, changes the plot going forward forever. And I think that it was, you know, it was just fantastic, a wild ride to see, and I loved every single second of it. Now, for my number 2 is going to be, as you see in the thumbnail, Pluto. Pluto is a phenomenal story, written by the greatest, to me, the greatest single storyteller in manga of all time, which is Naoki Urasawa. He is my favorite author when it comes to, he's never delivered a bad story. All the Naoki Urasawa stories have been banger, and Pluto is no exception. If you guys don't know who he is, he's the writer of Monster, which is a phenomenal series as well. And the concept of Pluto is a retelling of an Astro Boy arc, and made it much more darker and realistic. And the beauty of Pluto, you can see my review on Pluto. I mean, I talked about it for over half an hour and praised it, and I think it's a phenomenal story. It's pretty much me, kind of like a Blade Runner situation where, you know, the detective is trying to hunt down a mystery of this murders, and, you know, Gazik is the main character, you know, the detective trying to figure it out, and there's a lot of like plot twists and turns, and it's just a story that, you know, the message of the story is like what makes you as a human. And, you know, I think at this point in time it's a very important story to talk about, because, you know, the whole AI process, and, you know, what a lot of layers to this story that I think that you guys definitely have to check out. It's only 8 episodes, each of them are an hour, so definitely check it out on Netflix. Phenomenal story. It's in my top 10 animes of all time. So yeah, if those are the standards I'm talking about, Pluto is such a good anime that I've seen over 130 plus animes in my lifetime, and Pluto is my number 6. So goes to show how good that show is. And lastly, I got to talk about my number 1 anime of 2023, as well as an anime that cracked my top 5 animes of all time, which is Vinland Saga Season 2. Now, like I said, Pluto and Vinland Saga were interchangeable, but I ended up deciding, you know, to solidify Vinland Saga Season 2 as, you know, my number 1, solely because the impact it's had on me as an individual. I saw Vinland Saga Season 2 and I came out a different human being. That show, it was a beautiful story about redemption, you know, learning how to become a better person, a better man. And, you know, Thorfinn's journey to that from Season 1 to Season 2 was beautifully written and illustrated by, once again, the animators that just knocked it out of the park with the visuals. And, you know, Thorfinn is such a great character. He's in my Mount Rushmore of all the greatest protagonists in all of anime and manga. He's up there because he is, you know, I think he's one of the GOATs. Like, in this, the slave arc and the farm arc, all of that was peak writing, not just in anime and manga, I think in just fiction. Like, the story that Thorfinn told is the story of Thorfinn's redemption is somewhere along the lines of the same for me as Guts and his journey. And I just find the whole themes about, you know, the letting go of the hatred and becoming a true warrior, and everything that Thor's, his father, gave, you know, passed on to Thorfinn, and, you know, Thorfinn trying to, you know, create his own beautiful paradise in Vinland, and, you know, changing the world through peace instead of violence. I think this is a beautiful story that I think many, if not everybody, has to watch. It's a must watch, and I think that if you have the time of day, please give it a shot, because I guarantee you will absolutely love this story. So definitely check it out. And with that being said, those are my top 10 animes of 2023. What do you guys think of my list? Did you guys hate my list? Did you guys love it? Did I miss anything out? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.